At first glance, imposter syndrome might seem like a personal quirk, just a bit of self-doubt before a big exam, job interview, or public talk. But for many high-achieving people, especially in competitive fields like science, academia, business, and the arts, it's a chronic, deeply ingrained experience. You may find yourself thinking, I'm not as smart as they think, I just got lucky. Any day now, someone's going to find out I don't really belong. This silent internal narrative is what we call imposter syndrome, and despite the name, it's remarkably common, uh, even among the most accomplished people. Let's take a step back. Imposter syndrome isn't a clinical disorder, it's a psychological pattern where someone struggles to internalize their achievements and fears being exposed as a fraud. Ironically, it affects the very people who are most qualified. You'll hear Nobel Prize winners confessing that they feel like they've fooled everyone, or seasoned professors who still worry they're not real scientists. Even performers, athletes, and CEOs often admit they're haunted by the feeling that they're winging it while everyone else has it figured out. But here's the strange part. Imposter syndrome can persist despite overwhelming evidence of competence. You get awards, promotions, praise, and yet a voice inside whispers, you don't deserve this. That voice can hold you back. It might make you over-prepared to avoid failure or underperform to avoid attention. It can keep you from applying for jobs, speaking up in meetings, publishing your work, or leading projects. In the long run, it can erode confidence, increase anxiety, and limit your potential. So how do you overcome it? First, recognize that feeling like an imposter is not proof that you are one. These thoughts are common among thoughtful, self-aware individuals. In fact, studies show that the more competent people are, the more likely they are to underestimate themselves, while those with inflated self-confidence often overestimate their abilities. So, ironically, doubt may actually be a sign of intelligence. Next, shift your internal narrative. When that voice says, you're not good enough, ask, according to whom? Are you holding yourself to an impossible standard? Comparing your behind-the-scenes struggles to everyone else's highlight reels? Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for progress. Remind yourself that learning, failing, and growing are part of mastery, not signs of fraudulence. Another powerful tool is to reframe fear as data. If you're nervous about presenting, publishing, or applying, ask yourself, what does this fear really tell me? Often it means you care deeply or that you're pushing into new territory. That's not failure, it's growth. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the ability to act despite it. It also helps to talk about it. Imposter syndrome thrives in silence. You might be surprised how many colleagues, mentors, or friends have felt the same way. Sharing your doubts can normalize them, and often just hearing someone say, "me too," takes away its power. Better still, support others when they doubt themselves. By helping someone else see their worth, you reinforce your own. Importantly, celebrate your wins. Keep a praise file of kind emails, feedback, awards, and accomplishments. When the voice of self-doubt gets loud, revisit these reminders that your efforts are seen and valued. Don't dismiss your successes as luck. Recognize the hard work, resilience, and intelligence it took to get there. Could imposter syndrome ever be useful? In some ways, yes. It keeps us humble. It pushes us to stay sharp and keep learning. But it must be managed, otherwise it becomes a cage. And the key to that cage is self-compassion. You're allowed to succeed. You're allowed to feel proud. You're allowed to believe that you belong, because you do. In the end, overcoming imposter syndrome isn't about eliminating all doubt. It's about reclaiming your narrative, choosing to believe in your own voice, and daring to take up space even when you feel unsure. Because the truth is, no one has it all figured out. We're all learning as we go. And the people who reach their full potential aren't those who never doubt. They're the ones who keep going anyway. Understanding imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern in which individuals doubt their accomplishments and fear being exposed as a fraud. Despite evident success, it often manifests as persistent self-doubt, anxiety, and a sense that one's achievements are due to luck rather than competence. This syndrome can affect anyone from students to seasoned professionals and can hinder personal and professional growth. Recognizing that these feelings are common and do not reflect reality is the first step toward overcoming them. A successful researcher may constantly worry that their groundbreaking study was merely a fluke, even when peer recognition and awards affirm their expertise. It's like wearing glasses that distort reality. No matter how clear the world appears to others, your view is clouded by self-doubt. Recognizing the signs and triggers, imposter syndrome often reveals itself through feelings of inadequacy, overworking, and a fear of failure. Even when one is performing at a high level, triggers can include receiving praise, new responsibilities, or entering unfamiliar environments where the risk of perceived failure is high. Recognizing these signs early enables individuals to address them before they undermine self-confidence, and awareness of the triggers also helps in developing strategies to manage these feelings constructively. A manager might feel undeserving of a promotion and fear that any success is just a matter of chance, causing them to overcompensate by working excessively. It's like noticing a shadow that follows you everywhere, even when there's no real danger. Once you understand the source of the shadow, you can learn to step out of its influence. Impact on personal and professional growth. The negative self-talk and self-doubt associated with imposter syndrome can limit career advancement and stifle creativity by discouraging risk-taking and innovation. It often leads to burnout as individuals overcompensate for their perceived shortcomings by working harder than necessary. This cycle can impede personal growth and reduce overall job satisfaction, making it essential to recognize its impact in order to break free and reach one's full potential. A talented engineer might avoid proposing innovative solutions out of fear that their ideas are not original, thereby missing opportunities for career development. It's like having a high-performance car but constantly driving in slow, cautious lanes because you're afraid of speeding, even though you have the capability to go much faster. Developing self-awareness and mindfulness. Building self-awareness through mindfulness practices can help individuals recognize and reframe negative thoughts associated with imposter syndrome. Techniques such as meditation, journaling, and reflective thinking enable a clearer understanding of one's true capabilities, and mindfulness encourages a present-focused mindset that reduces anxiety about past failures or future uncertainties. This practice fosters a healthier internal dialogue and a more realistic self-assessment. A scientist practicing daily meditation might notice recurring thoughts of inadequacy and, through mindfulness, learn to view them as transient rather than defining. It's like tuning a radio to clear static. Mindfulness helps you filter out the background noise of self-doubt, letting the true signal of your capabilities come through. Seeking mentorship and building community. Connecting with mentors and peers who have experienced similar feelings can provide valuable perspective and support, as sharing experiences in a supportive community helps normalize the challenges and validates one's achievements. Mentors can offer guidance, constructive feedback, and reassurance, fostering a more positive self-image. And this network of support can be instrumental in overcoming the isolation that often accompanies imposter syndrome. A junior researcher might join a professional group where experienced scientists share their struggles with imposter feelings, offering practical advice and encouragement. It's like joining a team where everyone wears the same pair of glasses that initially distort reality. But together, you learn to adjust the focus and see your true worth. Embracing continuous learning and embracing failure. Accepting that learning is an ongoing process and that failure is an essential part of growth can help mitigate the fear of being exposed as an imposter, with each setback providing an opportunity to learn, refine skills, and improve future performance. By reframing failures as valuable lessons rather than personal shortcomings, individuals can build resilience and confidence, encouraging innovation and a willingness to step outside of one's comfort zone. An entrepreneur might view a failed product launch as a learning experience that informs subsequent strategies rather than as a confirmation of inadequacy. It's like viewing a missed note in a musical performance not as a disaster, but as a cue to practice and improve your overall harmony. Cognitive behavioral techniques to challenge negative beliefs. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, offers practical techniques for identifying and challenging the distorted thinking patterns that fuel imposter syndrome. By questioning the evidence for self-critical thoughts and replacing them with balanced, realistic statements, individuals can gradually change their mindset and CBT exercises such as thought records and reframing help build a more rational and compassionate inner dialogue. A software developer might use CBT to challenge thoughts like, I'm not smart enough to lead this project, by listing past successes and positive feedback from colleagues. It's like using a pair of corrective lenses that gradually adjust your vision, enabling you to see the world and yourself more clearly and accurately. Setting realistic goals and celebrating achievements. Establishing realistic, attainable goals provides a clear pathway to success and helps combat the overwhelming feelings of inadequacy characteristic of imposter syndrome by breaking larger tasks into smaller, manageable steps that make progress tangible and measurable. Celebrating even small achievements reinforces a positive self-image and validates one's capabilities, shifting focus from what you haven't done to what you have accomplished. A professor might set weekly goals for publishing research papers and celebrate each completed draft as a step toward academic success. It's like climbing a mountain one step at a time, where each step is celebrated as progress, making the daunting journey more manageable and rewarding. Long-term strategies for reaching your full potential. Overcoming imposter syndrome is an ongoing process that involves continuous self-reflection, skill development, and supportive relationships, with long-term strategies including maintaining a growth mindset, seeking regular feedback, and periodically revisiting personal achievements to reinforce self-worth. It's important to integrate these practices into daily routines to ensure that self-doubt does not undermine future progress. By committing to lifelong learning and self-compassion, individuals can gradually break free from the cycle of self-doubt and realize their full potential. A scientist might keep a success journal, documenting every positive outcome and breakthrough, which serves as a constant reminder of their achievements during challenging times. It's like building a strong, sturdy foundation for a house. Each small brick of achievement supports a larger structure of confidence and capability that endures over time.